I would like to talk some more about the wonderful physics of Rogue System. Like, you don't need to be a physicist to play the game, but there are a few principles which are kind of good to keep in mind while you're doing orbital burns and such whatnot. These principles are true in real life as much as in a Rogue System. Although the flux drive and the interplanetary travel kinda make them less relevant, but never mind all those things. First of all, if you want to pump energy, the first principle is that if you want to pump energy into the object orbiting a celestial body, then you generally want to accelerate in your prograde direction, and vice versa. If you want to brake, you want to always brake in your retrograde direction. And second principle is that any acceleration burn that you make whatsoever is most effective at the periapsis point of the orbit. Those are the main principles that you need to keep in mind. There are good reasons to follow these rules of thumb, but all of them are rather mathsy, so if that's not your cup of tea, please stay a while and listen. To arrive at these principles, we need to fiddle around with the equation for work that you see here on this slide. If you have studied any physics at all, you should hopefully recognize this somewhat. Here, F is the force, S here stands for the distance travelled by the object, and the product of the two gives us W, the work or energy pumped into our system. Oops, that S transformed into an D. That was not my intention, but never mind. The first line, the first equation is something like high school level of physics, right? But we really want to have a wee look at this fat dude as well. Now, the more careful way of expressing work is by writing an integral over the path taken by the object, where we sum up the force F acting on the infinitesimal line segment ds. Yet again, this sum would then give us work. We want to assume that F and ds, these two vectors, are parallel, which gives us this thingy. Now, let's hope the gods of mathematics don't see the following step. Let's say the force acting on the line element gives us an infinitesimal amount of energy to the system, dE. Well, we would just basically rewrite the W to an E, just to make it clear that we're actually giving the whole thing energy, and dividing both sides by dt, an infinitesimally short time period, we get this bastard child. And we substitute the force for the expression, the regular expression. Force is equal to mass times acceleration, right? M times A. And finally, voila! We end up with this expression: mass times acceleration times the velocity of the object, which is equal to the rate of change that its energy increases per unit time. That is to say, how quickly it gains energy. Assuming that the acceleration is constant, That is to say that the rocket or motor of our vessel provides a constant thrust, and that the mass doesn't change too much. This wee baby tells us that as the accelerating object moves faster, its energy increases quicker. This is why it's generally better to make an accelerating burn at periapsis, where the velocity of the object is generally faster than anywhere else at any other point in the orbit. Notice also that this is only true if our direction of thrust is parallel to our direction of travel. Remember, on the second uppermost line we had this dot product between these two vectors. If these two are at right angles to each other, at 90 degrees to each other, the work done sums up to 0. If we were to make a constant burn along our radial in or out vectors, we would essentially give the orbiting system no energy whatsoever. Notice also that since both direction of travel and speeds are relative to what celestial body you orbit, these principles aren't very relevant in interplanetary travel and while you're using the flux drive. If you're still with me this far, then well done. So, well, that was basically all I wanted to say, so thank you very much for watching this. Bye!